Hey, and welcome back to the Saltworks podcast. I'm your host, Hallie. We have your favorite co-host with us today, Lindsay Stagg. And today is kind of a Christmas favorites episode. It's the last episode of 2025, and we're just excited to be here with you. We are going to dive into some Christmas favorites as far as years past, current traditions, Christmas themes, and foods and movies and all those things, but we're also so excited to dive into favorite parts of the Christmas story. And so we hope this is a fun episode. We hope this is something you can turn on as you're running those last minute errands, wrapping those presents, whatever it is, and we hope you enjoy. Lindsay, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm here.
I feel like it's been a minute since we've recorded together.
It has.
So,
I kind of was thinking to myself, like, am I going to remember how to do this?
Yeah.
Because it's been a minute. It really has.
Yeah, it has. Well, we took a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
And then we had that, the Christmas gathering message last week. So
yeah,
it has been a second since we've recorded.
I
but
know.
This one's fun.
It is.
And I think, like, while we're still diving into scripture, like,
right.
I feel like the Christmas story, sometimes we don't know what to do with it because it's like less application and more sitting in wonder,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And like, but it's fun to me that today we kind of get to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my hope for today's episode.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah, I think so too.
Well,
because I think it's not often that we usually read the Christmas story and we, you know, are so sometimes so familiar with it at this point in time that like it's fun to kind of sit and think, well, like what? Mm-hmm. Like when I really read this, because I've been going back through just since like December, kind of like my Advent devotional, like whatever time, if you will, and just like taking chunks of it and just kind of like rereading the Christmas story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of fun to like pay attention to different parts. I don't know, because I don't know that we usually do that.
Well, I think too, like going back to the like application piece, like so often we want to know, what do I need to do? Mm-hmm. What does this mean for me? Or what do I need to grow in or whatever? But like so much of what is like important, you know, is being able to sit with him. I think there was a quote I shared on my story. Like it wasn't, I didn't say it, but I just shared somebody's post last week that was like, the greatest present you can give others is a heart that's been in his presence.
Yes.
And it's like at Christmas time, I think like for a society that feels like we got to be doing and performing and striving, especially in a busy season, like sometimes we're like, what do we do with the Christmas story? We already know this.
Right.
But it's like, there's so much value in sitting in awe and wonder, and the Christmas story evokes that on its own when we just sit with it. And so, just good, I think. Good to do. More than once a year, but it does make us do that. So, okay, favorites. You had the idea of doing a Christmas this or that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think we got to start with that because that was fun. Let me pull up okay, Christmas this or that. Christmas away or Christmas at home?
So I feel like that one has changed over the years. Yeah. Like, especially since having kids. Yeah. So used to before kids, like we loved to travel and like go and be wherever, you know, like with family when, you know, just because it was just two of us, like we're going to stay at our own house, just the two of us for Christmas. Like we wanted to go and be with family. But now that we have kids, I think that's shifted. Not that we don't enjoy our time with our families, we do, but like actual Christmas itself, like that day, like we enjoy just being at home with our kids. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of changed, but
I know. Well, there's not many this or that's that I wouldn't pick at home.
Same. I mean, that is true.
Any time of year, any activity, really at home.
That's true.
That's it. No, but like, I mean, I think like when I think of like book tropes, like away is so fun. But like same thing. Like I love to have our traditions and obviously with kids. And so I agree.
Yes.
Real tree or artificial tree?
Okay, I'm going to have to tell a funny story with this one.
Yeah.
This pretty much sealed my like artificial tree love for the rest of my life. So one year, Colin and I we went and cut down like our own tree. Again, this was before kids. And we went to this like little Christmas tree farm, but so like they were grown there, but it wasn't, and I never remember like exactly what all the different kinds of Christmas trees there are, but it was a cypress Christmas tree. So they look a little different. Like it's not quite the same. They don't have like the same smell necessarily, but it was fun to go cut it, do, whatever. Well, I'm pretty sure it was like after we had been gone, like we'd come here for Christmas with my family and gotten back home. And I mean, that thing was dry as it could possibly be. Because we probably forgot to put water in it or something. And the process of getting that tree down and out of our house was the most painful experience. I don't know what happens to cypress when they get dry and whatever, but I mean, it was like razors. We had scratches. I mean, there were like things falling in our shoe. I mean, we were both like, we will never do this again. So that pretty much for me was like,
y'all don't want the syringe tree?
No, we don't. And so from that point forward, I'm like, give me a fake tree every day. Okay. Cause I can just brush up any little things that fall off of that and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So after that, we were like, nope, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're probably an artificial family.
I like the artificial for the control of it. Like I know how it's going to look. I know it's going to hold the ornaments we have. I mean, if it's got lights already on it, great.
Yep.
Ours doesn't because those are more expensive.
Yes.
But, like, I mean, I love the controlled aspect of it. But, light a good candle or whatever.
I was about to say, I love the smell.
Candles,
yes.
Then that's all right.
They even make things that you can hang. These like little sticks you can hang in a tree to make it smell real.
There you go.
I don't remember where you find those, but I've seen them before.
Yeah. They're out there.
They're somewhere. I'm sure Amazon has them.
I'm sure. Okay, this one says, All I Want for Christmas Is You or Last Christmas. I'm assuming these are the songs.
Oh, yeah, probably so. I would think so.
I'd like to say neither.
I mean, if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be the Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. If I have to, it's going to be that.
Must pick.
I think we did have an Eagle Eye dance to that back in the day. One of those. I get her too confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't she have two?
Maybe. This is the only one I ever think of when I think of her Christmas songs.
Never mind.
So I can't help you.
But I think we did. And that was fun.
Yeah.
But if I'm just sitting around, I'd like to say neither.
Yes. Same.
If it's not Michael Bublé, we don't want it.
No. Or Pentatonics. I do love their Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to go Christian Christmas.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, the nice thing about Christmas is a lot of times even the secular people have Christian songs because it's like the old traditions.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yes.
Okay. Gifts or food?
Probably food.
Really?
I think I'd pick food.
Okay.
I love there's so many like specific things you really just eat at Christmas time. And I always look forward to that.
Yeah. I was the opposite. Like, I think one of your questions later is like, do you have a favorite Christmas food? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. Like, I guess maybe we're just spoiled and we do the same things every year. So like, I know it's coming. But I think gifts, like I love to give them.
Yeah.
And open. Like, it's just fun to me.
Yeah. I enjoy it. But the fun's
over when the last person has opened our the gifts
and
that we've
with
gotten.
The food, it just keeps on going.
Yeah.
Until it runs out. I mean, eventually it'll run out, but you can enjoy that person for days. Mine is probably more like, when I say food, it's probably more the sweets.
Yeah.
Your Christmas desserts that you're going to make.
You're a big fudge person.
I'm a huge fudge person.
Yeah.
And so you don't really make that year round. I mean, you probably could, but I don't know.
It would be wrong.
It would.
You could do it.
You might could. You might could. I'm not sure. I don't know, because a lot of people swear the weather is a big part of how things actually turn out with certain Christmas
treats. I don't doubt that in Louisiana.
Me neither. But I'm
never thought about it.
I've had the consideration. There's a few things we've pushed outside of the holiday season that we make regularly now. That for the longest time growing up was we just ate this at this time of year and that was that. And I'm like, but why not? We could do that. So I may have to give the fudge a test one day. Yeah. Outside of the winter season, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
How interesting.
But it is my favorite.
Well, decorating the tree or wrapping the gifts? This one's changed for me.
Yeah. Probably decorating the tree more now than wrapping the gifts.
Still probably decorating the tree, but I do think like there's a little bit of like me having to really gear myself up for decorating the tree because like at the same time that who knows what Ben is coming out of the attic.
Yes.
Because Andrew does this thing. I'm just going to call him out right now. Love him dearly. He would do anything for us, but he does this thing where when I say, can you go get the Christmas things out of the attic, albeit the organizer of the family is non-existent. Like,
right.
We don't have anyone. Like, if he wraps the lights really well, like, make sure they're not all tangled. But, like, I have no rhyme or reason with my decorating because it's like, we found this thing 2 months later that we did not put up. And, you know, some stuff I leave out for winter that's not just Christmas. So, one day I'll figure it out. Anyway, long story short, I'll be like, hey, we're going to decorate. Can you get the Christmas stuff out? He gets it out at the moment that we are going to decorate. And he selectively chooses, like, I'm not going to bring that box down this year. And I know it's not purposeful, but it never fails. The same things do not come out of the attic. Yeah. And I'll be like, where is such and such? He's like, there's nothing else. And the next year that will come out. And I just like, I don't know. In the house we're moving to, I will be able to get into the attic. So
there you go.
But all that being said, sometimes things come out that I'm like, I don't want to see that go out. And the kids are like, but we have to put this. You know, whatever. I like this year, I just let them set up the entire Christmas village. None of it's to scale.
Nice.
It's just, there's gingerbread houses and whatever. Anyway. So I do love that. But also wrapping the gifts now looks like the kids are asleep. I turn on White Christmas. Yeah. And just knock it out. So, I mean, I don't know. Perks of both.
Yeah. I get it. I get that.
Okay. The next one is Christmas coffee, like a specialty Christmas coffee, or hot chocolate.
I think I do love coffee, but like I think I'd pick hot chocolate for like Christmas time, just because I don't know. I don't drink hot chocolate really any other time. Yeah, I say that. I mean, you influenced me on that fancy hot chocolate, and I do have a cup of hot chocolate every now and then.
I think it's called the Velvetizer. Maybe don't Google that. Just Google a hot chocolate maker. But
that sounds right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it is. But anyway, that is like the best cup of hot chocolate. We discovered it last year.
It's so good.
And splurged and makes one cup at a time. And they like sell those chocolate shavings. Yes. We just buy whatever kind of chocolate we want and use the cheese grater because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We still have a few packets left. Like, cause we did that for a combined gift last year. And so like we picked a few of their like flavors. And so we have a few that are still.
I was going to say coffee, but now you've swayed me. It's hot chocolate. Yeah.
Well, and I think like, because I'm gonna drink coffee. Yeah. You know, every day, whatever. But hot chocolate's kind of a special.
I do let myself get the mocha creamer though at this time of year, if you can find it.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I've found it at Max for local people.
Good to know.
It's the only place I've seen it this year.
That's good to know.
So far. But that kind of marries the two.
It does.
It's like hot chocolate coffee. So
it does.
Okay. Advent or 12 days of Christmas? I have no idea how to answer this.
I don't either.
I guess Advent, being a believer. I mean,
yeah. Because I'm going to be honest. When I think 12 days of Christmas, all I can think about is the song. And by the time you get into that song, I'm like, never again. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want any of these things.
Christmas dinner or leftovers?
I know. We talked about that. And I'm like, Christmas dinner. Yeah. But I think I would even toss in like breakfast. Like my mom always made a breakfast casserole, like a specific breakfast casserole. Yeah. That we had on Christmas morning.
I'm with you. Our Christmas morning breakfast is our special meal.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. So
I guess leftovers, I thought that was a weird question, but I guess leftovers, like you have all these treats during Christmas time. So maybe it's like all those things.
Maybe so.
Elf or Home Alone?
I'd probably pick Home Alone.
Me too. Especially the second.
Yeah. Elf is funny, but also I'm like me.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm never sad when it comes on.
No.
But I have to say Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Christmas jumper or Christmas PJs?
No. What is
it's a sweater. It's a Christmas sweater.
Okay, because I'm like I don't wear jumpers. Stopped wearing those probably about 30 years ago. It's like a jumper. I mean,
a Christmas sweater or Christmas PJs?
Sweater.
I'm gonna say Christmas sweater.
Yeah, probably so. And I don't have like special PJs really. So
I don't like long pant PJs.
Me neither. I'm not gonna I don't sleep in long pants.
I would only buy them to wear them by the tree.
Yep.
And
that's it.
I don't need that.
Nope.
So
yep, I'm the same.
But that's Christmas in Louisiana, so each their own.
Yes.
Playing games or watching movies?
Playing games. I think playing games.
This is a hard one.
I know.
I think I'd pick watching movies because our kids are at the age where they will sit down and watch them now.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah. But it is so fun to play games with extended family. So like that's hard.
I know. We always enjoy
playing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're thinking, well, I say that even with kids, like we're probably at a phase of like games are more fun than movies just because Lillian has like finally getting to a point where she'll like actually watch, the majority of a movie, but John Michael's still very active and we'll watch it, but we'll also be climbing all over you the whole time.
Yeah. Well, Finn's still going to do that.
Yeah.
He's going to be throwing a ball, but he will watch it.
Yes.
The Night Before Christmas or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm guessing these are the books.
Okay. Because I was wondering that because I was like, is there a movie The Night Before Christmas? I was curious about that.
Not that I know of.
The Night Before Christmas.
I agree.
Like you got to read that.
Yeah.
The Night Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And you have to read it in an accent.
You do.
It can be British. It can be Southern. It really doesn't matter. Yeah.
There's a Cajun Night Before Christmas. That one's really hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. Okay. That was fun.
That was.
Do you have a favorite Christmas like feel in the house? Like when you think about decorating your house, like do you think about themes or you just pull out the same decor every year?
Mine's pretty much the same every year, but I would say I'm trying to like really figure out how I'd explain our theme in our house. I mean, very like traditional, like greens and reds and all the things. Our tree, it's cozy. I would say like over the years, I've kind of incorporated more like plaid and some like woodsy feel, like almost like I sometimes think like there's aspects of certain parts of the decorations we have that feel like lodgy, like I'm at lodge, I don't know why that feels cozy to me.
It does.
And I wouldn't say like you'd walk into my house and think, oh, that's what this is, but like kind of have leaned somewhat towards that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like just the good old greens and reds, and
I like I was thinking the last few years I have really liked, I don't know if I've nailed it, but like a cozy, happy British Christmas. Like
it.
Very crafty and simple but colorful. I'm like, can we have Nancy Myers meets Molly Weasley?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like
it. So that's kind of
yes.
Okay. Favorite Christmas movie?
That's a hard one for me.
Oh, it's a hands down.
I know you've got yours. Yeah. That's a hard one. I'm terrible any time of year at picking a favorite movie. If someone asks me what's your favorite movie, I'm like, I don't really know. I mean, this may be silly. Like, I don't necessarily like have like a set movie, but like we've joked before and talked a little bit on here. Like at Christmas time, like you put on a good Hallmark movie, and I'm just like, I'm content with that. Like I like all the like classics, but if I just want something that's like, that's probably what I'm going to go to. Like I don't know that I'm going to put anything else on.
I like that. My favorite, hands down, is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Like, I love the music. I quote the quotes year round.
That's one I actually haven't watched in a long time. Like, I need to go back and watch it.
We had some neighborhood friends walk over when it was the night that we have a night that we planned that we're watching this as a family. Yeah. With popcorn and whatever. And like, the TV and the fire.
Yeah.
And the like tree. That's it. That's all that's on. And like, I don't know how our kids feel about it. I think they enjoy it, but it's just like what we've always done. Like we do have other movie nights, but that's the night that I'm like, we have to schedule this because it's just tradition. And we did that growing up, and I just love it. But on that night, it was like the only night we had open because we had other obligations on other nights.
Right.
And so on that night, we had some neighborhood friends walk over. And so I was like, okay, well, come on, like, come.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is the weirdest movie I've ever seen. I was like, yes, but it's the best, weirdest movie I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, I'll give you that. But it's still art. You know?
Yeah. That's so funny. Our kid's favorite right now, it's a tie between like the newest like cartoon Grinch, because like the other one like feels still a little too scary to mine. But they love the star.
Oh, I love the star.
They love the star. It's so cute. And like Lillian loves the camels. I mean, they both think the camels are just hilarious. Which they are. Like they're funny. And so like that would be one that's like a newer one that I'm like, I enjoy it too. Like we enjoy watching it.
Those are such good ones. Okay. I don't know if you had other questions, but favorite Christmas tradition. And that can be like from childhood and today.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like childhood, when I think about like Christmas morning and like just Christmas, like that whole time of year, one of my favorite things was that on Christmas Eve, like, and I don't know when my parents started this or like what age we were, but like my brothers and I didn't necessarily like have summer parties like together all the time, but like Christmas Eve was like for sure going to be a night of the year where they let us all sleep in the same room, which was probably chaos.
Yeah.
Most of the time it was a lot of go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
But like we loved that.
At the break of dawn.
Yes. Yeah. But like we got to sleep in the same room and we would wake up and do like our like presents from Santa and have like my mom's breakfast casserole. And like, I just like, I look back and I'm like, it was just always so much fun. And like, you get to just play and I don't know, like nothing like specific or fancy, but like, that's just like when I think about Christmas as a kid, like that's what I remember. It's just the fun. Like it was just fun. And then Christmas now, my kids are still young. So like we're kind of still like figuring out like some things that we do. Yeah. But one thing that we've done the last couple of years, that's been fun. I'm getting wiser with how we go about it with small children, but it's just we do hot chocolate in the car and we drive around and look at Christmas lights one night. Just whenever it works out, like one evening after dinner, like everybody gets hot chocolate, we get in the car. Last year, hot chocolate was all over the car. So I've found some kid-sized like travel mug things this year. So I'm like, all right, got a better plan this year.
And a roll of paper towels. Just in
and
case.
I'm pretty sure actually last year, it wasn't a kid who spilled. I'm not really sure if it was me or Colin, but one of us spilled our hot chocolate. I think in the process of trying to navigate kids. I don't know. It was chaos. But I'm excited for that this year because Lillian has always loved Christmas and been excited for several years now. But like John Michael's finally at the age, because I mean, he was still 1 last year. So like he was aware and, but not quite to that point. But, like he has been so excited about all things Christmas this year.
So
like, and it is so fun. Like he thinks everything is the best ever.
Yeah.
And so like, we pass by the same blow ups every day and if they're down, we have to comment on, oh, they're not up today, and that sort of thing. And so I'm looking forward to that this year because I think it'll be even more fun. And like, the few nights where we're driving around and it's dark, like they love to look at the lights. Yes. So I think purposefully going and doing that will be fun.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites right now.
That's so fun. I think Christmas Eve is my favorite. Just like the Christmas Eve service, like even as a kid, I always loved the Christmas Eve service. And I don't know, like just being there with everyone and knowing we're going to go home and be together and, of course, waking up Christmas morning. But I think like being the age gap between me and my siblings that like Christmas Eve was like the night when everyone was going to be there because like my sister got married when I was 14, so like they were in college and stuff when I was a kid. So just, I think that night was just so special and it's still like my favorite with my kids, like as a family of 5. And this year we're starting a new tradition, which we laughed about this, but like you can think you've got to figure out your traditions because they're
right.
to set them in stone. But like this year I read about the shepherd's dinner.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
And like apparently a lot of people do it, but I had never heard about it. But basically like it's really just like charcuterie. And you can do butcher paper over the whole dining table, which would be easy for ours. Ours is small, round table, and like put that over. And so don't do plates, like just do like nuts and cheeses and meats and fruits and chocolate, whatever you want to do. And, have a candle, maybe a couple candles, lit, and it's just kind of like in remembrance of like that night. And like they had a simple fare and simple things, and like just talk about their experience and like the wonder of them hearing the news, because like we are the shepherds and like the hillside that had no idea, and like just to talk about that. And I think that's such a fun way. And so I'll ask the kids and they're like, yeah, let's do that. But also as a parent, you're not cooking.
Yeah.
You're not trying to like, because we do the Christmas Eve service. And so it's always been like something that has to be really cooked before.
Right.
Or a lot of times we would have like extended family Christmas on Christmas Eve. So that would be hard to plan for cooking. Yeah. So anyways, I was like, I just love that.
That's nice. Yeah.
Like so
that's fun.
But it's funny, like in listening to you talk and then thinking through like all those things were really just the events that led to togetherness. Like in yours, like Christmas Eve was like, we got to spend the night together.
Yeah.
We got to play in the morning together. And like for me, same thing. Yes. That's when everyone was going to be there. And like, I don't know, I think we can stress over like, is it on the right night?
Right.
But you really don't remember what day you...
No, because we would do, I know I can remember like ours sometimes would vary just because like it depended on if we were going, to visit extended family from where my parents, grew up or, whatever. And so, I mean, none of that ever mattered. It was always about just, it's fun to be together.
I also think like, I am not advocating that everyone should have Santa come visit their house, like at all. Like everyone needs to walk in personal conviction and have their own reasons and traditions for why they do things. And I think that's wonderful. But I do want to say there are a lot of conversations about why we don't have Santa come visit.
Yeah.
And I really don't speak to that much because like, you need to walk with what you feel convicted, and I feel very strongly about that. One of the reasons I have really enjoyed that tradition in our home, in looking back on my childhood, like it is the thing that for a young mind that couldn't understand what a virgin was and what that meant and what do you mean 400 years of silence and all of those things that are more grown-up topics or deeper understanding or this long filled promise or even just the need for a savior, a Messiah coming, like for a young mind, that created expectant waiting and wonder and awe of that seems impossible, and yet here it is. Like, that created that excitement. Not saying it's the only way by any means, but that is why I have not felt personally convicted to stay away from that tradition. And so I enjoyed that because like even later when Santa no longer visited me, like it was still that excitement.
Oh yeah.
And now it's over these things that the truth is still there.
Yes.
And I think like Tim Keller talks about, not about that in his Hidden Christmas, but just about like why we love epic stories that are fairy tales that are too good to be true. And he's like, because at the essence of them, they are true. Like, because we are living this fairy tale.
I've heard you talk about that before. And I think that's a cool perspective to have on things. Because, like a lot of times with even small things, it can be like, well, do I, like, and I say this like with my 5-year-old, like mermaids and unicorns and like, all of the things that are like, well, where can I find that, and that like I don't take that. I'm not ready to like take that away from her and be like, oh, well, that's not real, because I feel like I remember. I don't remember when this was, but like we had the conversation somewhere along the way of like that allows like their brains to understand like and to be curious and to experience that like
than what we can see.
Yes. And to just kind of, like you said, experience that wonder in a way that they can understand that 100% translates to what we experience as believers. I mean, when you look back at all of the stories of the Bible, I mean, every one of them has like some element of like, well, how did that happen? Or how was that even possible? Mm-hmm. And so I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, now maybe this is our first year we get to like really hit it hard because Lillian's always been afraid of Santa. So Santa's never been allowed in our house.
Yeah. I forgot that Rudolph has to bring y'all's presents in.
Rudolph was always the one who could bring the presents in. Santa had to stay on the roof.
I do have to tell this story. Garnet last year was this last year or the year before? But anyway, it was Easter and it was like the night before Easter and she was going to bed and Andrew was like, she said something like, is the Easter bunny a real bunny or is he like a man in a bunny costume? and he looked at her and was like, Garnet, do you honestly think I would let a man in a costume in our house? And she just looks at him, like kind of dips her head down and was like, Santa Claus. And we were like, touche. Good night.
That's fair.
His costume, that's his real garb. Okay?
Right. It's just what he wears.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's funny.
That's funny. Okay. So I would like to dive into favorite parts of the Christmas story. Yeah. Now that we have kind of led up to like that wonder and what is real and what is like hard to even fathom, you know, and just looking at that. And so I would like to dive into that for the rest of our time. And so I don't mind starting, but one of my favorite things, and we touched on this last week, is just to really sit and wonder on like creator becoming creation. I mean, I think like the wonder starts there, you know, and spreads out to these other parts of what that meant for this person and for this and for that hurt and for this hope and, you know, all of those things. But like so much humility for him to go from being with God and being God and all of those things that we read in John 1 about the word and everything being created through him and apart from him, nothing being created. And then for him to go and be so helpless and so in need. And I debated reading this, but I think I will, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read this portion from my book, You're Still a Good Mom. This is in chapter 4, I think, and it's talking about God with us and like how we can reflect Emmanuel by meeting needs, like as he did. But so it's talking about meeting physical needs and reflecting Emmanuel, and it says that's exactly what Jesus did. We know why he came, but why did he stay? Why would Jesus have needed to be here in the same flesh we live in? He was born to die to pay our debt, but which we could not pay, but it says a lot that he didn't just come one day and die the next. He could have redeemed us, which would have been far more than we ever deserved, yet he came. He stayed, he lingered with us, he lived, he grew, he learned, he walked, he talked, he served, he healed, he listened, he loved. He cooked breakfast, he went to weddings, he wept with friends. He wiped tears and he held hands. He welcomed people into his space. He awoke and pushed through physical exhaustion to calm storms. Whatever was needed, he did it, often meeting needs in the most unconventional ways. He was really and truly physically God with us. He remained to love us and model how we should live our lives. Meeting personal needs expresses intimate investment in others. Jesus saw and was willing to humble himself and get into the mess. His earthly life shows us that there was no need too big for him to feel, or too small for him to notice. And as Jesus met concrete needs, he brought spiritual healing. Not only did Jesus meet needs, but he also experienced these tangible needs right alongside us. He knew what it meant to have his needs met. We see the human work displaying the character of God through every act of Jesus, but what we don't get to see much of in Scripture is his own mother loving him this way into adulthood. How many times did Mary wake with baby Jesus in the night to comfort the comforter or help the helper? How many times did she cradle the God who holds it all? How often did she pour prayers over the God who hears? How many times did she feed the bread of life? How countless are the ways she provided for Jehovah Jireh? It's achingly beautiful that Mary was doing the work of Emmanuel for Emmanuel himself. And so it kind of goes into like our work as mothers. Like we don't know where that work will go, and we don't have the calling, but like we can still reflect that because we have God within us now as a spirit. But I just want to share that because it's just like you can sit in so much awe of like what he did in his life, what he came to do.
Right.
But just like the humility, like he didn't end his life with humility. He did. You know, we see those passages in Philippians 2, like that he humbled himself to the point of the cross, you know, but like though he was God, he did not think of himself as equal, you know, like he did not act that way, but like it started with that humility to be a baby. Like that is crazy to me.
Well, and I think I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Tim Keller. And one of the things he talked about was just the difference in like the God of the Bible and like other religions and prophets and all of those things, that like what is different is that he loved us so much that rather than saying, okay, you have to do this, this, and this for me to acknowledge you, to see you, to whatever, for you to earn whatever, it was opposite. It was, no, I love you so much, I'm coming to you. And just the grace in that, and the love that was there from the beginning in that decision of like, no, I'm going to choose to come and dwell among you, so that I can redeem you. I don't know. I don't know. Just that whole idea.
It is so good.
Yes.
What is one of your favorites of the Christmas story?
So, I would say like one of my first one is actually, I would say maybe not, I don't know if I'd say favorite, but just something that's always intrigued me. Is in Luke 1, where you have the angel visit Zechariah versus like what it looks like for the angel to visit Mary. And I've always found it interesting. And it's kind of cool because Bill talked about this on Sunday, you know, which I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, because I'd kind of already been thinking about that. Like, that's just one of those things that's always like stood out to me.
Yeah.
That their responses to the angel is kind of similar. I mean, it's basically just the same of like, well, how can this be? Like, what you're telling me, you know, as we would all be like, very much so would respond the same way of like, well, how is that even possible? Like, how is that going to happen? And I've just always found it interesting, you know, that almost like with Zechariah, the response was almost like a punishment, you know, like, you know, it was a harsher response of like, okay, well, I've told you this, but you're doubting or you're whatever. And so like he is unable to speak until John the Baptist is born. But then with Mary, it's like he gives her a response, and then she just says, let it be, you know, let it be so, basically. And I've always thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And like for a while I was like, man, why did he get such a harsh response? But like the more I think about it, and again, I think what Bill said on this past Sunday, just kind of hits on that like their attitude or their heart posture was clearly different. And like, we can't see that, but obviously the Lord did. And so I just think it's so interesting. And it's such I think a good reminder for us, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with us asking questions or having those, but like, is your heart posture ultimately surrender and like whatever you say? And I mean, I'm not going to say, because we know that like Zechariah, you know, wasn't like a bad man.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Yeah.
And so like, I would always just like be curious to know like what else might have been under that for why.
There's so much unbelief.
Yeah.
Like he's not he's not in disbelief, you know, but like he just holds unbelief.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that sticks out to me for both of them, like they are asking different questions, even though it looks the same.
Yeah.
But also the settings. Like when you look at Zechariah, like he is in the temple.
Right.
The only one that could be where he's standing at the time of prayer.
Right.
And so it's like you are literally going to the place that you drawing as close as possible.
Right.
That you could to God's presence at the time of prayer. And then when an angel appears and answers probably what's been your deepest earthly prayer for a child. And on top of this, that he'll be filled with the Spirit and the womb, like all these wonderful things. He'll be the voice in the wilderness to prepare for the people, the coming Messiah, and all these things. And it's like, it's too good to be true. He can't believe it.
Yeah.
And then Mary's just like faithfully going about her life, living in a way that's like, whatever comes, I'm his servant. And so like, but they're so, like, to me, Zechariah's is so convicting because like, I am doing ministry. Like I'm, but then how often do I hold that unbelief in my heart when something happens? Like, oh, are we sure? Yeah. And it's like, you can't be self-protecting at the same time as totally surrendered. Yeah. Yeah. And like we see that Mary was not self-protecting at all. Right. She just wanted to know genuinely, how will this be? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So good. It is. Okay. So my first, on my list is, oh wait, I already said my first. This is my second. The shepherds and the angels. A couple of years ago, or I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, we actually talked about the angels at Christmas gathering, because when you think about it, like when you look at it through the angels' perspective, like they've seen all these years, like there was an angel ceiling that they couldn't enter back into Eden, like from that moment on, like they have delivered the messages, like they have, sustained God's people, that when God sent them to feed Elijah or whatever, like there have been things along the Old Testament, and it's like, it's happening, like they're, it's like being on the other side of the Christmas surprise. You know what I mean? Like if you think about like your kids, like you're getting to be in on the planning and the fun, and like it's looking through their eyes. But at the same time, like when you look at, and it says, when the angel appears to the shepherds, and it says they were terrified, but the angel reassured them, "Don't be afraid." He said, "I bring you good news that will be great joy to all people. The Savior, yes, the Messiah, the Lord, has been born today in Bethlehem, the city of David, and you will recognize him by this sign. You will find a baby wrapped snugly in the strips of cloth, lying in a manger." Suddenly the angel was joined by a vast host of others, the armies of heaven, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and peace on earth to those with whom God is pleased." And then it goes on to say, when the angels returned to heaven, the shepherds said to each other, "Let's go to Bethlehem. Let's see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried to the village and found Mary and Joseph, and there was the baby lying in the manger. After seeing him, the shepherds told everyone what had happened and what the angel had said to them about this child. All who heard the shepherd's story were astonished. And then when they go back, it says the shepherds went back to their flocks, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen. It was just as the angel had told them. Like, so going back to the angels, like they're so excited, and they're messengers in the story, but salvation's not for them. Yeah. And so just how neat it is that like they're in on the surprise, and like this is the night, like people don't realize. Yeah. Very few people will realize what's happening tonight, but they're seeing it, and like to look at it through their eyes of like, finally it's here. Like we're so excited. It's like, kids on Christmas night, and, or Christmas Eve. But then for them to say like great joy to all people, like they're so excited to see this unfold, you know, and it's like, we just don't think about that much or look at that much, but there's just something neat and special about it, and just shows the heart of like why God came, like why Jesus came, why God sent his son, like for all people, you know, and just the excitement of seeing through this other party. But then the shepherds, I love the shepherds are often, taught as the good old boys, like they're in the field, they're doing their thing. It's the mundane. It's simple, and like, that is who the angels appear to. Like, can you imagine how crazy that was? Right. But what's so neat is the Lord took these good old boys and made them like the ones who went and told the good news, basically. And so just thinking about how beautiful is it when it's like men's retreat Sunday and you're seeing these, men that never maybe show emotion, and they're broken, over the goodness of God, you know, and it's like kind of the picture that I maybe picture sometimes with the shepherds. But I would also add to that they reacted in two ways. They said, let's go see this immediately, which took some planning. Like, I don't know what that meant for their flock. I mean, you know, and so like they could have been like, that's crazy. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's maybe tomorrow, if we can, if that's convenient, we can go and see. But like they go right away. And then once they've beheld this, like, and seeing that like what the angel said was true, like they go back telling the story and glorifying the Lord. And so in both of those things, they're reacting. And I wanted to read this portion this is from Hidden Christmas by Tim Keller. And he said, it's almost too limiting to say that we celebrate this at Christmas. We stare dumbstruck, lost in wonder, love, and praise. In the rest of this book, we will be touching on the numerous implications of God being born into our world. Let's mention only two here at the start. And I'm just going to read this one. First of all, if Jesus Christ is really mighty God and everlasting Father, you can't just like him. In the Bible, the people who actually saw and heard Jesus never reacted indifferently or even mildly. Once they realized what he was claiming about himself, either they were scared of him or furious with him, or they knelt down before him and worshipped him. But nobody simply liked him. Nobody said, he's so inspiring, he makes me want to live a better life. If the baby born at Christmas is the mighty God, then you must serve him completely. And like, we see that in the shepherds, you know, but do we see that in our lives? And so I just really like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I know I skipped the verse about Mary because I know that was one of your favorite things. So did you want to go back and talk about her?
So I would say one of the other things that has always been like it's just one of the verses, like one verse in the whole, you know, story. So after the shepherds come, they saw it. They made known the saying that had been told them concerning this child, and all who heard it wondered at what the shepherds told them. And then in Luke 2:19, it says, "But Mary treasured up all these things, pondering them in her heart." And I always I don't know, just that has always struck me. Especially to me, that's a relatable verse because here you are, like on the other side of this thing that's been told to you. You've waited 9 months, you know, or however long. I don't really know what the timing was when between the angel appearing and, you know, all of that. But you've waited this amount of time. Probably had many moments where you were like, did that really happen? You know, or just, or is this really what's happening? Like, what in the world? You know, you've experienced going to visit Elizabeth and that whole, her birth, the birth of John the Baptist, all that's happened. And all of those things were affirming along the way. But then now here you are, you've had this baby unexpected, in an unexpected environment, you know, just, well, I say unexpected. I don't know. Part of me is they had the prophecies and all of that from the Old Testament. So was it unexpected for her? I don't know. But not in an ideal situation, you know, you've gone and all of this has happened and all of those things are affirming. But then to sit and to have these shepherds appear and say, we were just told, you know, just, I don't know, there's just something to me that has always struck me at that point of you know, in our obedience to the Lord, sure, there's plenty of times where we can question or doubt or worry or think did I hear that right? Was this really what he said? And of course she has all these things that were very clear from the beginning, but to have after he's born, these shepherds come. And then however later the wise, you know, all of those things, for all of that to happen, how there had to have been some sense of validation of okay, this isn't just me and Josephine, you know, it's not just us anymore or just these few people. It's now all of there are other people that we didn't go seek out we didn't seek out the shepherds. So it's there's just these things that are being orchestrated. And I think just how kind that is of the Lord. And even that, yes, you've been so clear, but for the Lord to use people that like you're not directly connected to, that wouldn't know what's going on. Like you said, I mean, everybody else is going about their daily life. They have no idea what's happened.
Yeah.
But for the Lord to use the shepherds and to use the wise, to use people to just affirm like, no, this really is what I said, you know? And I don't know, I've always thought that was just really cool. And then just for her, like personally, like when we can think about, you know, times we've walked through things, or there's been, you know, times of having to be obedient and feeling like the Lord's said things to us, or, you know, whatever, just how much she probably had to just sit like somewhat in awe and reflection again at that moment of just like, okay, like this is real. Like this, I didn't make this up, you know, like this really is what's happened. And I really did just give birth to our Savior like that. I mean, I don't know. I just always think that's really cool that I can just imagine like her sitting in wonder at that point of like, no, like just the affirmation of these shepherds have come to saying this, all of this, you know, I don't know. I just find it interesting.
That's such a good point. I loved all of that. And like thinking about how, you know, we often talk about like how misunderstood they would have been and like scorned in their own world, you know, like was that everyone? We don't know. Like, we don't know what happened, but we're assuming because of, and for Joseph too, like, I mean, not only would Mary be looked down upon, but Joseph, like you chose her even after, you know, like that would have been like in a shame, you know, honor culture. Like there's like, that would have been shameful, you know? And so like, all of that, but then to have that like validation, you know, and it's like so often like we want justice to look like the way we pictured, but like he brought validation and affirmation that you're in the right place doing the right thing, even if others still have free will and still don't understand, you know? And so just so good. The last thing I have, did you have something else?
No, I was going to share it. Yeah, no, you said you had one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, I put in here, if I'm saying his name right, Simeon and Anna, because Simeon, so Anna was a prophet, and she had, I believe she was 84, but she had lived the majority of her life as a widow. I think her husband, like after marriage, her husband only lived 7 years. And so like she has spent much of her life just spending it at the temple, like fasting and praying. And so I believe, I'm to flip over, but I believe like for a deliverer, let's see what it says. She was a widow to 84. She never left the temple, but stayed there day and night, worshiping God with fasting and prayer. No, it just says when she was talking with Mary and Joseph, she began praising God, and she talked about the child to everyone who had been waiting expectantly for God to rescue Jerusalem. But that does make you think that's been a large part of her prayer, you know? And then Simeon, it just says there was a man in Jerusalem named Simeon. He was righteous and devout and was eagerly awaiting for the Messiah to come and rescue Israel. The Holy Spirit was upon him and had revealed to him that he would not die until he had seen the Lord's Messiah. And I just, like, he meets Mary and Joseph as on the day that they're presenting baby Jesus to the Lord as the law required. And so he takes the child in his arms, praising God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, now let your servant die in peace. As you have promised, I have seen your salvation, which you have prepared for all people. He is a light to reveal God to the nations, and he is the glory of your people, Israel." And he then turns to Mary and says, "This child is destined to cause many in Israel to fall and many others to rise. He has been sent as a sign from God, but many will oppose him. As a result, the deepest thoughts of many hearts will be revealed, and a sword will pierce your very soul." And it's like just more like they're going about the normal ritual for Jewish custom. And like, here's these two people at the temple. But I think in all this, there's a lot of what we just said about, you know, with Mary in that, in the validation and the wonder of like, what is happening, you know, because I mean, we barely understand what that means. You know what I mean? Like when we look at the whole of the New Testament, but she really didn't know what that, like a king, like, what do you mean?
Right.
You know? And so there was a lot of that, but I also think just like the representation of who God is when you look at alongside this miraculous and big and the biggest moment in all of human history to date at this point is here. It is happening for all people. It's good news for all people. And right alongside that happening at the same time is the Lord seeing these individuals who, a widow who had no standing, you know, and just fasted and prayed at the temple all the time, and just a devout man who had the Spirit like upon him, which was not common at this time, you know, that we see in Scripture.
Right.
And so like, I just see like right alongside the God of big and miraculous and wonderful, and the God of impossible is also the God of detail and care and personable and near to each person and faithful to the things that he promises each of us. And so I just love that. Like, I love that they're in there, you know what I mean? Because that's all of our story.
Yeah.
He's the God of the miracle in our lives, and he's the God of detail in our lives. And so I just love that. Love seeing his character in there.
Yes. No, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah.
So,
well,
a lot more we could say, but that's kind of what I had written for today.
Same.
So good.
It was.
Well, as we sit and wonder over all of that, I'll pray for us to close up.
Okay.
Dear God, thank you so much for this time, Lord, just discussing these things that you have done, Lord, just sitting in wonder and awe, and just talking over your character and your goodness, and sending your Son, Lord, and just truly how he is the gift that keeps on giving, Lord, and just that we have your presence here with us, Lord. And I just pray for all of those listening that they would have a moment of just peace and pause to stop and sit at your feet, Lord, just with no agenda, just to sit in wonder and in awe and in praise, and just to behold your glory, Lord, and what you have done and what you're still doing. God, we love you. We praise you. We thank you so much. Amen. Thank y'all so much for joining in this week. We will see you in the new year back here on the Saltworks.
This is my story. This is your story.